Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Deluxe Class Ironhide from Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. I've been very excited to get my hands on Ironhide. I'm happy that I finally found him. Found him at a Walmart near me. Really nice artwork here on the side. I like that quite a bit. Really excited for this guy, like I said. I really think he looks great. The mural on the side here, pretty much what we're used to. Taking a look at the back. You have robot mode, and then you kind of have this, like, not quite a van, but just kind of like a, I don't know, armored transport. Very basic looking, but I'm definitely here for it. I feel like it's definitely very Ironhide. I've heard a lot of people say that they wish this would get repainted as Snowcat from Energon, and that would look absolutely fantastic. Hasbro Pulse, make that happen. Make that an online exclusive. Here he is holding Terraxodon. Here's Terraxodon here. Here is Aimless, which I don't know why he'd use Aimless because that's a Decepticon, but who knows. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the packaging, so let's go ahead, we'll get him out of there, and we'll take a closer look. Here is Ironhide straight out of the packaging, and I think he looks absolutely fantastic. One minor thing, he is kind of mistransformed out of the packaging. You can see here for the chest area, you can open this up, and it almost looks like a perfect place to hold a matrix, which would be cool. But you can see here that there is a little channel, kind of like a notch, and there's a double hinge here. So this is actually, there's a bar across the top. This is supposed to bend in a little bit, and then that row right here fits into the notch so that it actually sits a little bit like that. Not a big deal, and if you want to leave it the other way, you absolutely can. It doesn't hinder anything, but technically that's correct. It gives a little bit of texture to the chest there. I kind of like that better, so that's what I'm going to do. But looking at that head sculpt, that is Ironhide 100%. Did a great job with that. I absolutely love it. Eyes are sunken back a little bit, but they are blue. Nice silver paint for the face. I don't know why they always have like the brow basically cover the eyes. Seems to be Hasbro's go-to move. But Autobot symbol there on the chest looks beautiful. Absolutely perfect. Articulation-wise, head is on a ball joint, so you have a little bit of movement up and down, but perfectly side to side. You have a kind of movement there in the chest part of the shoulder, but then of course you have a swivel, and you have a swivel here as well in the shoulder. You have a bicep swivel. You have, I would say, over 90, well, at least 90 degrees in the elbow, maybe a little more. Wrist does swivel down here as well. You have a waist swivel. You have out to the side, front to back at the hip. Thigh swivel, 90 degrees in the knee. And then you have an ankle tilt. So he is loaded up with articulation, and he looks fantastic. I love him. I think he looks amazing. This will most likely eventually be repainted into Ratchet, and I am totally fine with that. I will buy this mold several times. Give me Snowcat, give me Ratchet. I will buy them all. This guy is great. Now he does come with this accessory, which is kind of a giant rifle. Has a stock here on the back. So you can go ahead and peg that into his hand. Kind of straighten this out. And then have him hold it up like this, and you can see it shoots missiles. The other thing that's really cool, though, you can take this off, fold this part 90 degrees, and then either grasp it here or here. Either one is fine. I kind of like the look of it down here better, though. And now he's got kind of a hammer melee weapon, which is really great. I love that. I think he looks fantastic. He's only got a little bit of the kind of worn paint, and that's really down here, like in the shins and the ankles, the feet. So he's only got a little bit, I have to say. He doesn't have a bunch anywhere else. I guess there's a little bit up here, which will eventually become the front of the vehicle mode. But overall, not too much in the wear and tear department as far as those paint apps go. And I love that this can be both a gun and a hammer. I think that's really, really cool. I'm really digging Ironhide. I think he looks great. And of course you can use him with the Battle Masters. Here is Terraxodon, which he's pictured with on the box. But of course you can also use him with any of them. So I have Well, I do not remember this guy's name at this moment, so apologize about that. But this is the Target Master Autobot from the first wave. He's doing the splits on me here a little bit. He's just a little bit front heavy with both of these weapons, but he can hold them both. He does have these ports all over his body as well. You can see here in the shoulder and the forearm. If you want to go ahead and plug one of these into that, you could do that. He's got one down here on the side of his leg, on the back, on the bottom of his feet. So of course they work with the weaponizers. So just all in all, this guy is ready for battle and he looks great. Plenty of connection ports, plenty of places to mount weapons. So transformation is very fun, not very complicated, which I appreciate. Going to start by opening up the chest cavity here, rotate the whole head piece down in there, and then close that back up and close that up the full way, not the way we had it before in the robot mode. Then you're going to rotate the hands like that. You're going to come to the back here and unhook this piece and kind of sit that back there like that. This is going to rotate in, and you might have to swivel it around a little bit just to make it fit inside that lip. But then you're going to peg that together. Come down here, kind of lift these up. Open this section here. Lift this out of the way. Open this section here. You can kind of peg these together. And then you're going to, this entire red piece is on a big circle joint inside here, so this is all going to rotate 180 degrees, and it's a little tight, I will say, but once you get it, this whole thing, make sure that's out of the way, will rotate down like this, and then you're going to bring these up, and this little tab on the inside right here will tab into that slot right there, so you kind of have to line everything up. And sometimes you have to bring the arms down so that it lines up. But there you go. That'll close around that. This is going to come up and clip into place up here. There we go. And then this tiny little slot right there is for this tab on the side of this panel. So you just bring that down, tabs in, and there you go. You have your armored transport of some kind. But very Ironhide. Love the gold stripe on the side. Nice gray stripe, silver stripe up there. Very cool. So again, just a couple of things you can do here. He does have these ports in the front, so you could peg things in there. Even in robot mode, when that's on the back, you could peg stuff in there as well. But rolls very nicely. Again, you can see that battle damage is just around kind of the foot and ankle area. So that just kind of hangs out on the back there, which does look a little weird, but not a big deal. And then not too much. There's a little bit around these pegs. It kind of looks like a little touches of silver paint. But for the most part, looks good. Tons of ports. You can see 4 right on top, 4 on the front. Not really any on the side, but 2 on the back. So if you want to mount weapons, you can peg that in there, no problem. Not that you'd want to, but you could peg an axe. Just have that rolling around on top. Kind of looks goofy, but it's fun. You could peg this one in. I kind of like how Pteraxodon can kind of be a gun as well. So you could peg this in this way. Something like that. Pretty cool. The other thing you can do, you can open this up. And you do expose the hands, but it kind of opens it up here, and you can see that there's 2 more pegs. So if you wanted to peg the gun in on this side, you could certainly do that. And the other thing I think it's kind of cool, you can kind of put like Micromasters or, you know, Battle Masters, Target Masters, whatever you want to call them in here. And they can kind of roll around, hang out on the side. Like he could pick them up. Or you could even really, there's like a little cavity down there. Might be able to get him all the way down in there. Oh, yeah. So that's kind of neat. I mean, it's a little goofy thing that you can do, but it works. You know, you could have him sit here. You could have another Micromaster hang out on the side. If you got rid of the gun, he could potentially haul like 3 dudes at a time. I think that's kind of fun for something just as simple as opening up that little panel. A lot of possibilities there, a lot of play value, which I think is really cool. get the gun out. There we go. So we'll close this back up. There you go. But I think that's fun. I mean, it's just a little extra added bonus. Because I know the original G1 on the back, like in the cartoon at least, he could open up the back and Bumblebee rode around inside one time. So that's about as close to that as you're going to get. But definitely cool. I like it quite a bit. Love the vehicle mode. Like I said, definitely could see this as Snowcat from Energon. Would absolutely buy that repaint. And now that we have Hasbro Pulse, I think that's definitely something that could happen. So absolutely, please make that happen. If it gets repainted as Ratchet, I'm here for that as well. Would absolutely buy this again as Ratchet. All they'd have to do is maybe put like some kind of medic symbol on the side here. The other thing is if you could remake this as Ratchet, have this open up, and then you could come with little accessories like little claw hands or repair kit stuff that you could then peg on the side. So like maybe if someone got hurt, you could lay them down here like on the back and then have like a claw hand or something like work on them. Just an idea, but something like that could be really cool if they decided to repaint this as Ratchet. I would definitely be excited for something like that. So I definitely love the little vehicle mode. Very, very cool. So 100% I highly recommend Ironhide. He was the one I was most excited about from this second wave of Deluxes, and he did not disappoint. Robot mode's fantastic. Vehicle mode's fantastic. Love that his weapon can be both a melee and ranged weapon. Very, very cool. I don't really have anything to complain about the guy. I think he's great. I know a lot of people have been complaining about these panels popping off, and it is kind of weird, and I didn't really address this because I haven't had too much problem with it. Apparently one of the peg holes is not large enough for the peg that's, or the little nubbin that's on the panel, so that's why they keep popping off. And I've seen tutorials online where you can use something to just widen the hole a little bit so the peg will fit in it nicer. You could, but you run the risk of cracking the plastic, so it's up to you. Honestly, I've transformed it back and forth a couple times, and I think it popped off on me once. So it's not that big a deal. Maybe they'll fix it by the time they reuse this mold, because I'm sure they absolutely will. Also, he does have a peg here on the front that you can put one of these weird little battle damage effects if you want to pretend like he just got blasted in the shoulder. So I think he's got a lot of potential. He's definitely my favorite from Wave 2. I love him. I highly recommend him. Not too much to complain about. Like I said, the panel thing, I didn't run into too much problem with it, but I know a lot of people have. But you can always pop it right back in. It's not really the end of the world. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.